Hey everybody, welcome to season 2 of Sailor Barry and Sailor Haley. Thanks for tuning in. It is freezing cold, it's winter right now, it's snow everywhere, but in the episodes it's still summer, which is glorious. In case you guys missed it, we also did a live where we played Settlers of Catan for 3 hours, so feel free to go back and watch that. Thanks for tuning in. Feel free to like, comment, and what's the other thing you do?
Tell your friends.
Well, share it. Yeah, share it. And subscribe also would be cool. Feel free to hit us up on Patreon or PayPal if you feel like supporting the cause. This stuff takes a lot of time.
If you want to just toss us some cash when you see us.
Yeah.
That's actually happened before. It was awesome.
All right, let's go back a bit. This is Dagon. This is a 1956 seagoer, and my girlfriend Haley and I spent a lot of time and money restoring it. But then suddenly appeared Thunderchild. This threw a huge monkey wrench in all of our plans for sailing and living aboard Dagon because, well, I accidentally bought the boat. Whoops. We set off on our maiden voyage and we got the sails up right away and we got to just relax and enjoy the wonderful thing that is sailing a beautiful old boat. And we got to see whales up close and personal, and my friend Simon came aboard and visited, and then we went to a lovely dinner with all of our friends and we got all dressed up and fancy looking, and it was amazing. That's a little recap of the last episode, but there's lots more cool adventures coming up, and I hope you guys enjoy Thunderchild as much as we do. All right, you're all caught up now. Let's enjoy the continuation of this wild adventure that is Thunderchild. All right, it's 8 in the morning and I'm heading to Heritage Harbor for the races. It'll be about 3.5 hours and I'm just about to depart. Haley's gonna meet me in Vancouver, so another solo trip. Man, we're really putting this boat through its paces. The key to doing a good solo departure is really just being methodical and taking your time and making sure everything is stowed away nicely and that you have a good plan. I took the time to absorb what the wind and the current was doing, and from here I just reversed towards the docks and then kick out of there. Now I'm heading down the river. Steveston was founded in 1887 and it was a hub for fishing for years and years. There was a period of time when people would refer to it as Salmonopolis. Now that I'm out of the river, it's time to hoist the mainsail. Raising a main on a gaff rig is quite easy. You have 2 halyards, a peak and a throat halyard. And now that it's up in place, I drop the topping lift so that the boom drops down into proper position. Now I adjust the autopilot and get back on course. I was really pushing hard to get to Vancouver on time for the races, but by the time I was halfway through the trip, I knew I wasn't going to make it on time, so I just enjoyed my time on the boat. Trips like this are really giving me a lot of confidence in solo sailing this boat anywhere I want. So I'm just pulling into English Bay right now, and the fellas are all out on their classic boats. I'm not going to join in the race, but I'm definitely going to pull up and let them see the new boat. And I'm going to drop anchor and grab Haley, and we'll just hang out with everybody. Super excited right now, but I'll give you guys a quick view of all the boats. This is a once-a-year sight to behold, entering the city of Vancouver with classic yachts everywhere. Well, managed to pick Haley up real quick down at the docks, and now we're just under sail and watching the race.
Has the race already started?
Oh yeah. There was one year I was able to win this race on Dagon, but I suspect that was more because Steve wasn't racing on Winsome that year, and he always wins. Yeah. In the lead we got Arndt all the way up there on Anya. Here we got Michael over here in 2nd place. We got Odin over here on 3rd. We got Leo in 4th place. We got Steven in 5th place. And then you got Dwayne on his Sparkman Stevens yawl and Ricochet fighting for last place, which Ricochet just pulled away. Hell yeah.
Ricochet.
One shot, and by consensus, whoever threw it the furthest wins. Okay? So whenever you're ready, step up to the mark. Yeah.
Here's the trophies that they give out every year. They're adorable.
Good job, Dagon. All right. Ricochet. And the captain of Ricochet. I guess that's me. Get one of these and grab yourself a shirt. The Gibbler Awards each year is given to the boat that does something. Last year, I think it was for first round the marks. This year, it's for second place. So second place in the Heritage Classic 2023 was Button Swan.
Again!
Congratulations. And the winner of the Heritage Harbor Classic 2023,
Button Swan!
it's the
Patrick!
to Winsome.
Here, let's catch Leo's lines. Are you going ahead? This is the North Star of Herschel Island, and some of you would be keen to know that it's being restored on a YouTube channel called Favorite Boatworks. My friend Lyle and Mitch and Quill, they're all working hard on that boat right now. You should go check it out. Well, I anchored in False Creek for the night, and it's blowing a gale outside northwest, which is kind of the unfortunate angle that hits here. And I'm only about 75 feet away from the shore, the rocks, the seawall, the big walking space in Vancouver. So I'm not too worried about it. I set the hook really well last night, but I'm definitely on high alert. All was well on my front, but this steel boat that's right in front of me, it dragged 100 feet into me, and we even bumped into each other a bit. So yeah, I fired up the motor just because I don't want to have to go through startup procedure in case I gotta pick up anchor and move, and in case the gust gets stronger, I can motor into it or motor away from shore. It's just so tricky with that other steel boat right in front of me. I dragged 100 feet. It's like 10 feet from my bow. So yeah, just whipping up a coffee, kind of coming back to life, getting ready for it's gonna probably be a long day. I don't know, man, if your anchor's dragging, just fucking idle forward a bit. He's so close to me now, I can't do that. At least he's on deck, he's paying attention. Put down 2 anchors. My anchor's not dragging. These 2 are. Just waiting for my water to boil. I just want a coffee, man. Dragging ass boats. The storm died down midday, and all I had the energy for was to go to the bar where I could stare at my boat, drink a few beer, wait for the night to come, and go to bed. Well, Haley just dropped me off at Granville Island. I grabbed the tender, and it's blowing southeast 10 to 15 today, which is a great wind angle around here to get to Gabriola. And as always, I've got another cargo run for Simon, so more fabrics for his business. And yeah, so I'm just gonna get the ship shape, flash up the motor, head on out. The tender full of water. So my feet are soaked. Just because I know you guys love feet. There you go. Free toesies. I got decks largely squared away, so now I'm gonna go make sure everything's squared away down below, and then I'm gonna check fuel levels, and I'm gonna write my log entry and do a little bit more tidying up down here. It's a bit gross. One of the many things I love about this boat is the simplicity. There's no bonus valves or things that can fail. It's just a piece of wood, a sounding stick that you dip in and you pull it out and you check your fuel levels. About half a tank. Good. Last little thing to do is get the outboard and bracket off of that and get the battery out and haul it on deck and secure that. And then in the meantime, I guess I have time, I might as well flash up the motor. Make sure that's all good, because it'll take me a while to haul that up, so I might as well warm the motor. So one of the things, you gotta switch the battery to, there we go. Pull this out of gear, give it some throttle. Low bugs. The next thing to do is haul anchor and get the fuck out of here. I'm a big fan of a manual windlass like this. If you go back and watch any of the episodes where I pull the anchor up on Dagon, you'll see how absolutely exhausted I am. It's a lot easier doing it this way. And it's not electric, so there's nothing to go wrong. Oh, anchor's up. Now we're adrift. Put her back in gear. Check the surroundings. Bright and sunny, it's warm, there's good wind, and I got a boat full of cargo and personal possessions of Haley and ours to help on the beginning of the journey of both of us moving full-time aboard this boat. What more could you ask for? One of the cool things as you depart Vancouver, you get to approach all of these large shipping vessels that are at anchor, and you get up close and personal. You really do get to see what kind of wear and tear they get from all the different places they've been. It's cool to see. So this is always fun, passing through the shipping lanes that enter Vancouver and second Narrows, or first Narrows. You're always staring at these big ships wondering if you're going to collide with them, but I got a couple good tips to help you figure it out. I'll show you what I'm up to. So, like, that guy, he's underway. Am I going to collide with him? I don't know. That guy ahead of me, am I going to collide with him? I don't know. Here's how we find out. With this vessel up ahead of me, I'll find a fixed position on my vessel, like this stanchion here, and if he is stationary in relation to it, then we're on a collision course. If there's no appreciable change in relative bearing, then you're on a collision course. Same with this guy. So I can line him up with this stanchion here. Let's get somewhere nice and low and fixed, and I can just hold this position. and you watch it for a really long time. Obviously the boat's gonna wobble and change a little bit, but you can see in general he's making headway. His bow is just about to poke out in front of that stanchion. His relative bearing has a very appreciable change in relation to me. So, again, this means he's going to pass ahead of me. If he was on the other side and slowly falling back, it means I would pass ahead of him. And again, if that was completely stationary and there was no change whatsoever and you saw him miles out, you know for sure you're on a collision course. So always check your relative bearings to other vessels. And as I said, this guy up here, he is well clear of my bow now. I adjusted 10 degrees so I would take his stern with a little bit more clearance. These guys like at least 4 cables, which is about what we are now. A cable is a point of a nautical mile. And yeah, I just altered a bit more to port so that I wouldn't be so close to him or make him nervous. And they like to see big, bold changes in direction so they can tell for sure what your intentions are. Don't just make a ton of tiny little incremental changes. Make a singular large course correction so that they know your intentions. And again, that other guy still making way well ahead of us. I'm gonna get nowhere near that big boat in the background, but we're about as close as I'd ever like to get to the island tug here. And he probably appreciates me taking such a wide berth behind him. But now that we're clear of his stern, I'm gonna alter 10 degrees to starboard and get back on course to Gabriola. These are the little things that I rationalize while I'm staring out at these boats, trying to assess if there is a risk of collision or not. That's my little pro tip for sailing around in Vancouver. One last little thing I'd like to do. It's very calm out right now, but it's supposed to pick up a bit southeast later, and that will mean I would need my running back on port side, and I do not like the look of the port side running back block, so I have a spare double block and I'm gonna swap it out. You can see quite clearly that the state of the block that I just replaced is quite dire. It takes no effort at all for me to break it apart with one hand, and if that was to have happened while it was up and that penny shifted off to the side and that pin there was available to slide out, it probably would, and the block would fall apart. Now that that's sorted and it's nice and calm out, it's easy for me to get the mizzen ready to hoist, and there she goes. And as any good sailor knows, once you got the sail up, it's time to coil down and hang your rope somewhere nice, neat, and tidy. Not really a ton of wind this day, which is totally fine. It's beautiful and sunny out, but I got nothing better to do, so time to put the staysail up. Just gotta sheet it in and she'll stop flogging. There it is. So I was trying to adjust the leech line, and the clue came undone, and so now I'm going to try and repair that. We'll see how that goes. Notice how I immediately put a life jacket on because I'm more or less hanging off the side of the boat, and this is pretty dangerous. I also slowed the boat down to an idle just in case. Okay, so I got it back on. My main goal was I was trying to get rid of that crease there in the sail. I got rid of most of it, and then tightening up on the lacing really helped. But I'm still not satisfied with how it sets at all. Now in Silva Bay, Dagon and Thunderchild are back together again. And so I invited Nathan over to see what he thinks of the boat. And we talked about everything. I showed him everything I knew about the boat, and it went well. I am in the Silva Bay former shipyard right now, or boat building. I don't know what the fuck you call it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm trying to say. And I am working with my friend Nathan. He's down there. There he is. And we are repairing this tender. The boat has weaver davits on it, so the entire weight of this tender sits on these upright, and they took on a wave from the stern, and it crushed this weaver davit in, because this actually is not very well supported. So we're doing a fancy little repair where we put a huge backing piece in to about here on either side that is epoxied to it, so it'll give this whole area rigidity. We'll replace the glass and then put the weaver davit back on, and it will have much more structure than before. And while we're at it, we noticed there's a few little busted bits at the transom, so we're just putting on some chop strand thickened epoxy and filling it up so it's proud. Then we can sand it back down and paint it. And that's what we're up to today. As you guys know, I have a new boat, so I may or may not also have a new owner for the Mrs. Dagon. We'll see. We're hammering out ideas and details and stuff, and it's in the early stages, but he is a motorless sailor. He's a tall ship sailor. He is a tattoo artist. It's literally everything I wanted out of Dagon. And yeah, she's got a motor in her, but she's technically a motorless sailboat right now, as nothing is finalized, which was a big part of the attraction for me with the new boat, was that I got to skip the last 10% of restoration of Dagon, which, as you know, the last 10% is often the hardest, or maybe I'm burned out from 2.5 years of it. And yeah, the opportunity popped up, grabbed the boat, and what I just need to know is that Dagon goes to good hands, that is a capable sailor and will use her because she's serviceable and ready to go right now, but also is a shipwright and is capable of leaving the boat better than when they receive the boat. So yeah, I just want to, yeah, we're feeling it out. Feels obviously very correct at this point. Yeah, he went and checked out the boat, likes the way everything is. How can you not? It's delightful. And yeah, he's got big plans for it if he does end up with it, which is even more soul satisfying because that's exactly what she needs to do. And yeah, in the meantime, we're just crushing work at the boatyard, and it's wonderful. It's a bit of a mess in here, but Haley and I are kind of settling into the boat. We got galley better set up than it was before. We're just kind of chipping away at projects and learning the boat. We got a nice fire going, toasty. So yeah, one of the key things right now still is there's zero lighting in here, zero house battery systems. There's no fridge, so we're doing, ice blocking in a cooler, but I'm gonna put a cooling plate inside here eventually. But for stuff I do have, I've got this water pump, which I'm gonna set up to the galley sink. So we have pressure water.
Do you want 2 dogs?
Yeah, 2 hot dogs would be wonderful. And I've got this Webasto 4-star diesel heater, which winter is coming, so I do want to get that all rigged up. Well, oh yeah, there's still a leak up forward, so we're just crashing here for now, which is plenty big. Gets even bigger, so.
Got any plates from Dagon?
No, I didn't grab any plates.
I got baby glizzies to pay attention to.
She's got glizzies on the go.
We got
Okay,
glizzies. We got glizzy duty, so.
I'll go grab some plates from Dagon. Hey Nathan, do you care if I grab 2 of the 4 big plates? Okay, I'm not permanently, just we don't have plates.
No, take as much, especially right now where you don't have stuff, take as much as you need.
Sweet. And Nathan's settling into Dagon quite nicely, I think.
Oh yes.
He doesn't have an outboard. That's not how he rolls. But he does have oars despite me losing the oars, so he's been rocking the tender.
Yeah.
Off he goes. Oh yeah, you got it down, man.
It's a lot harder with a 110-pound dog.
It's pretty easy to see right off the bat that Nathan is a good fit for Dagon. I know Haley and I both feel incredibly good about Nathan taking on ownership of Dagon, even now, a couple months into the process. And it's wonderful to see Dagon being a home for a nice young man and big, beautiful, fluffy dog. And for those of you who are curious, the dog's name is Appa, and he is just a puppy, believe it or not. He gets bigger than this, even since filming this. Nathan's resume is strong. He's worked on a couple boats that you might know: the Bark Europa, Tres Hombres, and Ocean Tramp. And he's done extensive work as a shipwright and was trained at the school in Port Townsend. Any of the projects remaining to do on Dagon are dead simple for someone with his skill set. And that's one of the main reasons why I chose Nathan as the new owner for Dagon. I hope you guys like having him around as much as Haley and I do. And I hope you guys are as excited as we are to watch him and Appa start their journey on Dagon. Alright, first thing I'm actually going to do to the boat, other than just like bringing a bunch of stuff on board, is sun's setting, so it's going to be real dark soon. So I've got one puck light up there just above the dinette area. It's one above the cooktop and one above the sink so that we can see a bit better. I'm not doing final wire routing or anything like that. I'm just going to cut some wires and run them to the battery and put them on a breaker and call that good enough to start. It was boring, I didn't show any of it, but I got 1, 2, 3 lights set up on breakers. So now we got a little bit of light in here, primarily focused around the galley. So they're incandescent bulbs and everything, so I don't know, they're going to be energy hogs, and I don't have solar or anything set up right now, so this is just temporary. It's not done yet. Haley and I spent a few days settling into the boat, figuring out a rhythm and learning what life aboard would be like. But as always, she has tattoo appointments back in Vancouver, so after a few days of relaxing and setting up the boat, she heads back to the city, and then I have yet another solo departure to Vancouver to pick up more of our personal possessions so we can both start living aboard full time. Ooh, alright, so I just finished a nice long week in Gabriola. Lots going on, a lot of the Dagon deal. Even Vivian and John showed up and dropped off the remainder of the stuff for TC. Had lots of really good hangouts with Nathan. Feeling really good about Nathan as the new owner for Dagon. Haley worked in Nanaimo. We got a bunch of work done, made a bunch of money, and establishing a bit of a business here now with Nathan and Haley and Simon, and it's really good. Tomorrow is Haley and I's anniversary, 1 year, and then the day after tomorrow, perihelion, 1 year. Oh my god. I spent the last couple hours getting the boat ship shape and ready, stowed everything away, got the motor flashed up, engine checks, blah 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 blah. And deck is all sorted and stowed away. Everything down here could be a little better. I'll work on it. I've got the inverter running, charging all my gear now that the motor's running, and yeah, it's fucking go time. It's piss and rain, but I got a nice fire going down here, so it's toasty. I'll set the autopilot once I'm out of the harbor here and stay nice and warm. Because Haley's moving to Gabriola over here on Thunderchild, we have a bunch of stuff still in Vancouver, so I'm gonna go pick up the last of my stuff today or tomorrow, and then get a bunch of her stuff moved over, and then I've got one more cargo delivery for Simon, and then I'll come back here with that, make some more money. Yeah, just a lot going on. Here's a little preview for you of next week's very cold, very wet, very rough sail over to Vancouver. But it's nothing Thunderchild can't handle. She was made for this. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I really enjoyed getting to go sailing with my friends and see them and do the little award ceremony down at the docks and stuff. It was a lot of fun, and
rest in peace to the jacket that Barry lost. I don't think we got any footage of that.
Yeah, that white, I forgot about that white jacket I was wearing. This boat has flush deck, so I put it on deck and it just blew overboard.
I tried to grab it out of the water, but our pole was slightly too short, unfortunately, but it was a good attempt. So.
Damn. Yeah, that was handmade in the Ukraine by a workwear reproduction company. Shout out to Union of Friends. Sorry Poseidon now has your jacket, but at least he looks dope in it. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Please feel free also to check out our Patreon page. This is what really paves the way forward for us. The more patrons we can get, the more videos and more adventures we can go on.
Yeah, if you guys want to see us do this stuff, make it our job.
Yeah.
Make it our problem.
It's starting to happen, so we're getting there, so let's keep it going. If you guys can think of any questions you want asked during the live stream, feel free to drop them in the comments and we will write them down and get to them during the live stream, so that's super cool. Simon's doing his live stream this Monday coming up, so don't miss that. And yeah, again, thanks from both of us for tuning in, checking it out. Very appreciated. And we'll see you guys on the next episode.